Okay, traders, let's get into it. Welcome to Trade the Structure. Now, I'm just going to run through a couple of shares on the ASX that I really like. I think they're perked and ready to go. So we're going to run through those and we'll just have a bit of a chat. I'll put on some lines, some bits and pieces and the reasoning why I like it, and then just go away and do your own research. So the first one we've got is DRE. It's Dreadnought Resources. I really like this one. I think it's primed. I think it's in a really good zone where it can start to lift off from here. So we'll just get up. By the way, if anyone knows a better drawing tool, I'm struggling to find something to be able to draw on Spark charts. So if you do, leave us a comment or just email it off to us. So that'll be fantastic if anyone knows that. Let's get into it. We've got some support coming through here, but what I really like is they've had that first leg up, an expansionary leg up. We've had a bit of a pullback, back to the EMAs. We've had a secondary expansionary leg up, and we're just starting to hold now in a really key level. I think we're just starting to hold around that 350, 355, 375, so give or take. Just this zone in here, so we just bounced off. So we're retesting where it broke out previously, broke out on somewhere in early July, broke through that, it's pulled back, tested it quite a few times now and started to hold. So I really like that for a bit of a break up through, it's about 420, 430, just that little minor high there from the middle of September. So if we can break up through there, ideally what I'd be looking for is if we can break up, have a bit of a pullback and hold an inside level, okay, then I'll be looking to buy that on the rise. So what I want to see is that volume start to lift. You can see that volume on this run up start to perk up, which is really nice. And especially with that break there prior to taking out that high, if you took it in there, you can see the volume really starting to lift there. If we see the volume start to add, and we had a bit of a break up through that level just in here, just draw this level in here I'm interested in. If we can break up through there, like I said, push up, pull back and start to hold with some volume. We hold a higher level back on the EMAs, then I reckon it'll be a real cracker to take out the highs through $6, sorry, 6 cents, 6.5 cents. Okay, on to the next one now. Okay, the other one I'm going to look at now is Lithium Australia, LIT on the ASX. We're on the daily chart. The other was a daily chart too, if I didn't mention that already. Now, what we can see is the market had a bit of a basing period, a bit of a range-bound market action up until about December, end of last year. And early this year, it started to take off. So we got that lift, okay? It really rallied hard right up to about 20 cents or just a touch under 20 cents. And you could see that the volume really started to lift too, which is really nice. So we got this expansion in volume, and that probably started about this stage when it started to lift up. So if we could jump on board, and if you did jump on board somewhere at that breakthrough was about 8 cents or so, with your risk just below, so that the most recent high low, which is sat on top of the EMAs, then you've got probably a 2-3 to 1 trade there, at its best really. So whether or not you could take it off there is a different story. But you can see that worked out really nicely. So what's happened since, the market's pulled back and it's held these lower highs, right up until about this stage here. Okay, instead, kept taking out those the recent lows, took out that low there, reacted off that low, took it out, lower high in here, come back, took out this low, and so on until we started to lift and we started to consolidate. So we've come down and we've consolidated somewhere. If we just mark that up, clean this up, it's somewhere, it started to find a bit of a bid around 11 cents and 10 cents, okay, off the 10-cent low. So the fact that it's actually had a bit of a run up here and we pulled back and held another high low. So all this here, this zone through here is a major high low, probably on the weekly charts. It's good to view. If you have a look at that, you'll see what I'm talking about. And then we've just held this inside higher low on the daily basis. So it's starting to look good. We've got a bit of volume on these little pumps up here, another little bit of volume up here, another little bit of volume. What I'd ideally like to see is a lot like DRE. If we do pop up, I'd like to see it get up and through 14.5. I want to see it get up through 14.5 with some conviction. And that first pullback, if we start to come back down and retest that level, or even at a slightly higher level, I want to see that volume start to increase, and I want to see the MA start to curve its way up, okay? So ideally, what I'd be looking for is, we'll just draw that up, different color here, just those EMAs start to lift, okay? You've got the 20 above the 50. I'm looking for it to pull back to the EMA, see what happens on that first pullback, just in here, see if we get that volume lift and see if we can expand higher again. And I think then it would start to attack this high around here, 19 cents, and even push straight up and through. So if you start to take this expansionary leg up previously from somewhere around 5 cents up to just say 20, we've got 15 cents there. Add that to 10, you've got about 25 as a rough projection as where it could go to. So if you're taking it somewhere around this zone, for instance, if you get this set up, it's going to look quite nice. I think it's got a good expansionary phase to it left in it. So it could really start to kick on. I mean, it could kick on a lot harder than that. That's But it's just a matter of if you start to get there and it starts to peak out, it starts to get a bit heavy again, you could just tighten your risk up and take some off the table. I like to take a partial, if anything, and then just see if the other one or the other half can kicking on. Okay, so that's pretty much what I was going to look at. Just those two for now. Really interested in them. I think they've got some really good potential. So make sure to go back, do your own research, put your own lines on like I do, and get your setups the way you like. I got my particular setup that I'm looking for. Look at your own. If you've got any questions, just shoot us an email to tradethestructure@gmail.com. And remember, if you enjoyed the content and like what you hear and agree, it'd be greatly appreciated if you could leave us a like and give us a big thumbs up at the end of the video. All right, guys, we'll speak to you again soon.